Yosemite National Park is beautiful and it welcomes visitors all year round. But there are some things that you need to know before you go. This is Katie from Creative Travel Guide, and today we are sharing the things to know before you go to Yosemite National Park. Looking for more travel tips? Make sure you hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. And I just want to give a big thank you to all of our subscribers. We hit 1,000 subscribers recently, so thank you so much for your support. So our first tip is to plan in advance. As always, we encourage you to plan your trip as far enough in advance as you can when you are visiting the national parks, especially at the moment. Yosemite Park is no different, so you will want to plan your trip and book your lodge as far in advance as possible. Which brings us on to our next tip: to compare the lodges carefully. You can choose between hotels, cabin rentals and tent villages inside the park itself, but these do book up quickly. Ahwahnee Hotel is a popular option for couples, while the Yosemite Valley Lodge offers large family rooms for those travelling with children. Evergreen Lodge is a rustic mountain resort that is perfect for couples, but you will need a car. Our next tip is to visit in the fall or winter. The summer in Yosemite is incredibly busy, but also hot and humid. Visiting from October through to March brings a different colour to the park, with blankets of snow, warm orange tones and much less people. Our next tip is to explore late. When planning your trip, plan to have a lay-in and then explore later on in the day. Early morning is not a good idea in this national park unless you want to take sunrise photographs. Unfortunately, so does everyone else, so there is a massive rush of early risers and photographers in the early morning. Instead, get plenty of sleep, have a late breakfast and then get exploring so that you can enjoy the sunset while day trippers are leaving. Our next tip: don't drive. So you may need to drive to the national park itself, but once you have parked at your hotel, avoid driving around to see the different sites. Parking and traffic can be a nightmare here. Instead, use the free shuttles that circulate the park or take the public bus that travels the Highway 120 or 140. Our next tip is to fill up before you go. If you do decide to drive, fill up your car way before you reach the national park. Prices are much more expensive at the stations inside the park. It is also worth noting that entry fees for one vehicle is $35. And our next tip is do not expect to use your phone. Although the national park has many modern conveniences and most of the lodges will offer Wi-Fi, don't expect to be able to use your phone around the park itself. Signal isn't great and is often non-existent in certain areas of the park. Our next tip is to keep hiking. Because Yosemite is so popular, the hiking trails can be busy. However, the crowds disperse the higher or farther you go, so get comfortable hiking shoes on and keep walking to get clearer views and fewer crowds. For serious hikers, try the Upper Yosemite Falls Trail, the Half Dome Trail or the 4 Mile Trail, whilst those looking for shorter, gentle walks can enjoy the Lower Yosemite Falls Trail or the Bridal Veil Fall Trail. Our next tip is to visit the best sites. Yosemite is beautiful, but there are certain areas you can't miss. Visit Tunnel View for an easy, accessible, panoramic viewpoint, then head down the road to Bridal Veil Fall. Head to Yosemite Falls, the tallest waterfall in North America, but also get great views from Cook's Meadow. And our last tip for visiting Yosemite is where to eat. Of course, you can bring your own food and have a picnic in the park if you want to eat on the move, but there are also some great dining options as well. So we hope you have an incredible time in Yosemite National Park. Let us know what you're most looking forward to doing in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit subscribe. So until next time, stay safe and stay creative.